results on the future of the learners. I'm joined by Dr. Mary Vianney Mitana, the Executive Director of JM Education and Research Center, and also a co-lead of the Regional Education Learning Initiative, a coalition of civil society organizations in the region and Africa. Welcome to NTV Tonight, Mr. Vianney.
Thank you so much.
All right, every year schools based in rural or hard-to-reach areas actually perform very badly, and there seems to be no solution. As an educationist, what should be done to reverse this trend?
Thanks so much. You know, it is not the first year this is happening. It is something that has been happening year after year. What I can say is that, you know, it is not easy to blame one side of the coin. I would say that, you know, it takes a village to educate a child. There's a role of the parents.
It takes a village to educate the child. That used to be the norm back in the day,
exactly.
But nowadays it's every man for himself.
Exactly.
Neighbors do not care, the community does not care whether your child or not drops out of school and walks on the streets and they see him or her, they won't say anything.
Yes. And now the ball has been left the teacher alone to struggle, who is even so much demotivated. The parents are just left aside. They don't know what to do. And even the schools themselves are not engaging parents enough to bring them on board on how to help these children to perform better. And you know, sometimes we blame the situation at the end of the cycle when people have failed. But remember that every step in education cycle itself is as important as the end itself. These people have not failed today. They started failing from P1. Now they have completed P7. That's when we're able to see the challenge. But the challenge started long ago.
Indeed. Besides the community not doing its part and the task being left to the teachers, what are some of the other factors that are leading to this downward trend?
The downward trend, we could have many issues. Look at, for example, the motivation of the teachers is an issue. Look at the infrastructure. Look at the funding that is given to the UPE schools. Indeed. And if I'm not mistaken, if you could actually look at the performance, you will find that actually the rural schools, which are predominantly UPE schools, are the ones that have failed most. Indeed. So we need also to look at the funding gap. How much money is given per child? Can this money actually educate a child? Compare the amount of money, the fees that is paid in the rural areas compared to what is paid in urban centers. You know, these are education facilities. Which facilities do they have in rural areas? These are issues we need to look at and try to interrogate and see where is the problem coming from. And actually try to uproot the problem from the taproot instead of looking at the surface.
Well, like you did mention, some commentators are observing and they're saying that the problem here is that education is highly commercialized, and most of the schools are focusing on helping the learners to pass exams. How detrimental is this to our country? This
is a huge challenge. Actually, it's as if the grades are on the open market for purchase.
Indeed.
Some schools are like, you know, I promise your child is going to first grade. Is going to get first grade no matter what. But remember, education is not about grades. Education is about upbringing the child, you know, bringing the full potential to fruition, you know, bringing everything, you know, look at the values, look at the skills, look at the knowledge, look at the way someone interacts with the environment. Now we are talking about the climate change, for example. Can this child who has passed or failed be able to take care of the environment? Can this, you know, we're talking about, for example,
So we are just focusing on helping these learners pass exams. They are not being helped to become innovators, to solve the country's problems.
Exactly.
Pass the exams, go and seek a job.
Yes. Which actually for me it is not the most important thing. The most important thing could be, can we train, can we mold this child who is able to transform the society, not even to fit, but transform the society, transform their communities. For example, the children in the communities, I know there are many people who have failed right now.
Indeed.
But actually, to what extent can we say that these people know nothing?
Indeed.
They don't know nothing, they know something.
Like the 88,000 learners who sat PLE in 2023, they were not graded by the Education Ministry and they won't be joining Senior 1. You can't even convince me that out of these 88,000 we can't find at least one single skilled, at least 10 skilled learners among these who know music, who know football, who can artistically draw a human being and,
Yes.
you know, it's really real in real life.
Yes, and you know, challenging to say is that you know, these children could be more creative, but because they have failed, you know, it is surprising that, you know, you start the primary cycle for 7 years, but you use 2 hours to judge me that I have failed. You know, could they not, maybe if there could be some other alternative ways of assessing these learners? For example, can these children maybe plant some crops? Can they creatively maybe draw some pictures that can be sold on the open market?
Indeed.
And this could be even ways of, you know, assessing people's creativity.
We've seen people in the US make money from art. You can sell a picture drawn with your hands for $10 million, $20 million. In Uganda here, I've never seen it happen.
Yes.
People are making a lot of money in music.
Yes.
In Uganda here, we are looking down on music.
Yes.
We are only teaching them to, you know, work, you know, formal work, doctors, lawyers, and so forth. So many of the viewers who are watching NTV Tonight right now are wondering, how can we help the 88,000 learners who are not graded, who are not going to go to Senior 1? How can we help them along the academic journey of this country?
You know, I think the best way would be to create other pathways, not just relying on the PLE, you know, pass slip to say you have failed or passed, but can we have other pathways where people can get, you know, a way of upgrading their education, either or getting skills? That could be a better way, other than not just looking at the P7, you have failed or passed. So these people have failed. Where are they going? This is a time bomb. These over 80,000 students who have failed, where are they going? To be a question for you and I. But also
they can be sucked into terrorist groups. They can be sucked into all these other unscrupulous groups to do bad to the country.
Exactly. And if this year we have this number, next year we're going to have this number. We have the issue of equity. Where are they going? So in other words, we are creating a system of the failures and the successful ones in courts.
Wow, Dr. Vianney, too much to talk about, little time for us. Thank you so much for making the time to speak to us.
Thanks so much.
Right here on NTV Tonight. Let's take a very short break. We'll be right back.